Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. After a pretty good showing from DOKKANFEST Goku against Fusion Zamasu, I want to try him out. But first, before we try him out against Fusion Zamasu, I'm going to bring him in against Shadow Dragon SYN SHENRON, see how he does here, and then we'll do another video where we take him in against Fusion Zamasu. So I can't lie, I was really impressed with how he performed. Mainly because he has type advantage in the beginning, you know, 6 key spheres, he's got an additional, like 60% chance to dodge, guard, but he done really well. So we're going to start off here first, then we'll take him in against Fusion Zamasu, and I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to get him on rotation. I've literally built the team, so we not only can Goku be on a 200% lead, but so we can also have him fairly linked up well, and because I don't have them, I have also built the team so we could run a friend, Goku and Vegeta, who I do want to get on rotation with them. But for the time being, we're only going to have Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, and Prepared for Battle active. We are on a 300, definitely not 300, on 137k attack stat. Of course, he's going to be stacking the entire time, every time he supers. And this, for a first turn for him, means Goku is chilling. Type advantage, 6 key spheres, guard, extra dodge, he's good. And he's also going to do some extra damage, which, considering mine is only at 55%, also helps him out a bit. Because, as you can see, he's still only doing a 4.6 million attack stat. Guaranteed additional helps him do some extra damage, which is good, which is what I always liked about his kit. But considering mine is only 55%, and I'm relying on like 5 additional in a potential system and some skill orbs, potentially, I don't actually know if they've got any on, he's not going to be doing the most damage without really stacking up much. And this is why I love Goku, is this. You get him as 6 key spheres, even though it's only a 60% chance to dodge. He just seems to just dodge everything regardless. Until he doesn't, of course, but he just seems to do it. He just seems to almost have a guaranteed chance to dodge, even though he doesn't. Like, he just dodges that much. Just that much. To be fair, he does actually get the extra 30% chance to dodge with 3 or more key spheres, but typically with the orb changing, you're going to be getting 6+, majority of the time anyway, so you end up kind of just bunching them together of the additional and the guard with the dodge chance. No super attack turn 1 though. No super attack from Shenron turn 1. Which of course Goku would be able to handle. Type advantage, yeah, he doesn't have the most defense, you know, we started with like just over 130k. But type advantage, guard, also with dodge chance as well. That's the one thing I always loved about Goku, is he has a lot of outlets in his kit. He has a lot of defensive arsenal in his kit. You know, as long as you get him 6 key spheres, you get him 3, he has the extra 30% chance to dodge. You get them all 6, that's a 60% chance to dodge and guard. That's 2 of the biggest and best things in the game that can help people defensively. Yeah, you have damage reduction as well, but it's not often that a unit kind of has both. Some do, but it's just not often for units to have both at the same time. But having dodge and guard on one unit, along with them stacking, as I said, Goku's defensive capabilities are that strong that I think even at 55%, I'm not sure how long we're into his release, but he came out in March. We're now into, what, October, so that's what, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We are 7 months deep of this unit's release, so he's just over half a year old. And he's still at 55%. Is almost, there's not much difference, at least to me anyway, almost as good as he was when he first dropped 7 months ago. That's how good this DOKKANFEST Goku is. As I said, he has 2 of the strongest things in the game to help him out defensively in his arsenal, in guard and dodge, which of course you need orbs for, because he's an orb changer for 6 turns? Yeah, 6 turns with 6 or more superclass allies on the team. Which, of course, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be running this guy full of superclass units. So he generally is that good. Where are we up to stat wise? 488k attack stat, 230k defense. Now, as I've said before, when it comes to Shadow Dragon SYN, he is, at least nowadays, on the longer side of difficult content. It's not too long, but it's longer than what we are used to right now, which again is usually turn 5, turn 6. So we should be able to get a few stacks out of Goku, especially if we're getting him the 6 key spheres, which again with the orb changing shouldn't be difficult at all. The constantly super attack twice in one turn. Go on, dodge it. Do your thing. Dodge it. See, he's just, even then before that, or after that, he's taking double digits because of the guard, 2 stacks. Where his defense was prior to that anyway. It don't matter that you group attack. It doesn't matter that you it doesn't matter you super attack him. Doesn't matter that you group attack him. Don't matter if you normal attack him. You'll either dodge it or guard it. After those 6 turns are up, sure, maybe it might be a little bit of a struggle to get the full 6 key spheres. But even then, it's not too much of a struggle. Like, at least in my time with this unit, I've never really struggled to get him 6 key spheres, even after the 6 turns. And even then, a lot of the content, as I said, is extremely short and extremely difficult. So it's always done by turn 6 the latest. So by the time Goku's about to lose his orb changing, the event's done. The event is finished. With the amount of damage you're doing and how short these events are, the event is finished by the time he's about to lose his orb changing. So it doesn't even matter that he's about to lose it, because the event's finished. Do you know what I mean? So he's that good. Have we performed? Yeah, we performed 4 super attacks. We have definitely performed 4 super attacks. Are we okay? Just in case, because of the strength trunks, he's only super attacked, what, once? I'm going to have a Whis. But we've definitely performed 4 super attacks in battle, because we've done 2 each time he's appeared, so we do have the extra 50% attack right now. So Goku is going to start doing a bit more damage starting from his next appearance. It's not going to do too much. Like, yeah, he stacked 4 times, which is good. But 55%, that is probably, especially the older he's gotten, is 55% damage-wise. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just Goku's damage at 55% 7 months later obviously is lacking a little bit behind with what we kind of consider the standard nowadays. Because he stacks, it's not really too big of a deal. But he's not doing the most damage, I'll put it that way. It's not bad or anything, it's just, as I said, it's not up to like the standard that we're kind of used to and what we've been seeing recently. But I'll take the extra 50% attack to kind of help us do a bit more damage, along with stacking along the way as well. So don't forget, we do have an item going into this turn as well. We finally have the rotation we're looking for. And this is actually the first turn, even though we're on turn 5, where we're actually not going to get the amount of key spheres we need, although I could actually get it to drop for us. So up to 626k attack stat, we do now have some more links active as well. Importantly, Warrior God's Godly Power. If only this int key sphere behind that AGL orb was Fizz, because then we could easily get the 6. So I mean, we're going to do this. Oh, it dropped for us. Perfect. 8 key spheres. Again, we're getting the extra 30% chance to dodge, the guaranteed additional, which means a double stack, even more damage, and the guard. So that's going to be 2 stacks up. So we're going to have over 300k defense with a 60% chance to dodge and guard. And we are going to ignore Trunks' standby for once, because we don't need it. We do also have a Whis active, but in terms of damage output at this point with SYN, he is doing, was it just over, I think, 400k on a basic right now. We're up to 7.7 million attack. That's because we now have Warrior Gods and Godly Power active. So damage-wise, we're kind of there now. We're kind of there now. But again, that's because of those links. They give him a big attack buff. Yeah, SYN's doing 480k right now. So even if we didn't have the active, if we didn't even have the Whis active, not only do we have a 60% chance to dodge, where we could take no damage at all, which is great, which is just popping off left, right. Oh, he actually, I mean, he hits with a super attack, of course. He dodges the basic and the group, but doesn't dodge the super. We did take 100k. But in terms of a normal, 480k against what, just over 300k with God. I think even without the Whis, Goku's still tanking that for double digits. And of course, again, has 60% chance to dodge up his sleeve. In terms of the super, without the Whis, of course, there's a chance he dodges it. But like then, since he didn't, we're probably looking at like, what, almost 200k on a super? From that 1.3 mil? Maybe, actually, maybe a bit more. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, no, I'll leave it like this. Leave it like this. So, I mean, he's still tanking really well. Given the fact that we're only on turn 6, which is, again, like, really important. Like, I know I said SYN is a little bit on the longer side when it does come to difficult content nowadays. Considering 9 times out of 10, the event would have been done by now. Having him still tank that well, and also especially like with an item active as well, but having him tank that well still, even though he hasn't really stacked up too much, because again, after those 2 stacks, we would have been on just over 300k defense, which really isn't a lot nowadays, like at all. But because he has so many good defensive capabilities like the guard and the 60% chance to dodge, or just dodge in general, he's actually tanking really well, given the fact he's not going to get the chance to stack all that much realistically. So I'm happy with how he's doing, especially because mine's at 55%. Like, I don't have dupes. I don't have any extra chances for him to potentially, you know, get a third super attack off in the turn. Or I do, but it's really not likely because I have no dupes. So I'm actually kind of happy with how he's doing. But now, considering SYN is a little bit more on the longer side, we get to see Goku, you know, we get to see him go a little bit more. Just a little bit more. It is turn 6 now, so the next time he appears, he will no longer have his orb changing. Which, as I said, for the most part when I've used Goku, I've never really found it to be a problem. Especially because content is just ending at that point. So this isn't going to happen that often that you actually see him without his orb changing. But let's see how he actually does. We do have his active skill. We actually can get him 6 key spheres. We get this AGL key sphere and get all of those strength ones. He's up to 302k defense. Again, which is really, really not a lot nowadays. Like, at all. We can get Vegito out, which we're going to do. We're definitely going to do. Vegeta, put this in your ass. I mean, ear. Alright, Kakarot, I will. It stings a little bit. It also smells. But in terms of how he's doing, he still holds up incredibly well. I mean, it's not like he's a year old or anything, but still, 7 months at 55%, you'll start to notice some age. But one thing that does stay true with his active skill is you're only ever going to want to be using that when you're going for the, like, the KO. You're going for the winner. You don't want to pop it before that. So we're going to do this. Tons of group attacks coming our way. As I said, we're going to get the 6 key spheres, so we get the extra 30% chance to dodge, and also the guard, which is good. So that's guard with just over 300k defense. No item active, don't forget. 15k before he supers. That's not bad. That's not bad. Again, yes, he has guard, but because he only stacks by what, 20, 30%? 20%. He's not even stacking by 30. He's stacking by 20%. So, we might be dead. We might be dead. Yeah, we're dead. It's fine, though. It's fine. The fact that he took that pre-super with only 300k defense and guard is pretty good. Because Goku's just not going to get that much time to stack. And then even then, after we super attack twice and still have our guard active, again, he still has the chance to dodge, so that's one thing. But then he'd probably tank that for maybe not double digits, but only a couple K, which is pretty good. Again, when you consider that he's stacking by 20% each time and only twice, like this isn't a Trunk situation where he can super attack 3-4 times in one turn. But he can super attack 3 times. But you know, he doesn't have like super attacks coming out the wim-wham, do you know what I mean? So, do you know what? For a unit that is still 55% in the dupe system and 7 months old at this point, still tanking really well. Like, really, really well. It's a shame VB got us killed. The only thing we would have had to have seen was Goku get super attacked without an item. Which, I mean, I think realistically, if we had more HP, because our HP was fairly low, if we had more, I think Goku could survive. He would take a bit of damage, don't get me wrong, because again, just 300k defense it's not good enough nowadays, but the guard and dodge chance still makes him very good defensively and capable. I don't think he'll get you one shot. I feel like he'll take a chunk, but I don't think he'll get one shot, which is still pretty good nowadays. You can let me know your thoughts of him down in the comments. I'm going to take him into Fusion to Master You next, because when I used him in against him, he was really, really good. But I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care, have a good rest of your day, and peace.